Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I wanted to take a little time and give you my top 3 favorite things while I was on the road and traveling for 14 months out of this little tiny camper. The first one we'll be talking about is the decor that's in my camper. I just absolutely love making a home while I'm on the road. The second is my favorite camp meal. So I'll be preparing some chicken tortilla pizzas for you guys and showing you how easy that was to do while I traveled. And then I'll also be talking about a game changer, which is the JP50 Pro ICECO cooler. And that really changed the game for me while I was traveling. Let's get started. Get ready to have your eyeballs tickled by the explosion of color and patterns in here, guys. Like, this is a lot. It's a lot to take in. But let's start with walking in the camper here. You can see that I've got a gallery wall that I actually created in this tiny little space. I have space for one more thing right here, so I need to find what will fit there and just add it to. I just haven't found the right item yet. So this is from Goodwill. This is from an art show in Albuquerque. It's just a little porcelain cow skull from Mexico. This was my first piece that I hung in the camper for artwork. My mom got that for me at a little bazaar in Sarasota. And we even got the artist to sign it. It's still in the plastic under the picture frame there. I found this at Goodwill, and I've got the whole set of 3. These are vintage. I found this one at an animal rescue thrift store, and it's really cool because they painted the frame to match. Unfortunately, I had this guy fall out in transit and kind of bust it a little bit, but we'll get it fixed, no worries. This I also got at an art show that was in Placitas, and they do it every year, and the artist is really incredible. I love this picture, and then I got a rose gold frame for it. And then right here, I got my little rug off of Amazon. I've got my vintage Tupperware that I use for a trash can. That is the handiest trash can I will ever have in my life. Moving over to Rupert's section here in the entryway still. These covers, hey buddy, you want to tell everybody about it? These covers came off of Amazon. It just brightens up the camper. It's really fun and sassy. And then we've got all of Rupert's stuff up here. We've got his food bowl, which I found that's vintage, and Charlie also has a matching bowl down there. But, you know, you've got to have the proper things for your cat while you travel. Bye, Charlie. You've got to have the proper things for your cat while you travel. We've got ways to entertain him. We've got, you know, this lovely little platform for him so he can look out and sit in the sun when he's sunbathing. And then we've also got his scratching pad, another scratching post, and his little pineapple bed over here. And then just a nice soft blanket for him to lay out on and get comfortable with. And then we've got his kitty litter, which I don't know how that fits into the whole Maximalist vibe, but you know, you got to take care of your cat. I've also got a laundry bag, just a catch-all bag, and then my regular purse. But I got these off of Amazon. They were really great sheets. Like I said, it just brightened everything up so much. I got this at Aldi, this at Aldi. This was one of the first things that I had in the camper, on top of the picture that my mom got for me, and another one which I'll show you. But this, my friend sewed for me. I just thought it was so perfect when I first got the camper, and so that's been with me on every bit of my travels. And then I have the Happy Camper, which my mom's best friend made for me when I first started all of this. And then I've got my kids playing out here. Or trying to. Guys, they're a mess. This kitchen is my happy place. This is where I turn ordinary ingredients into extraordinary messes. It's a little challenging to cook in this tiny little space, but I love everything about it. I found this little guy in Sedona, and it's just this little thing that I loved. It looks perfect there to me. And then I also have this beautiful little painting from an artist named Elliot Tatler. She's amazing. She's in Knoxville and going to school for architecture. Very exciting. But she painted this for me for my camper, and I absolutely love it. It goes so perfectly. I've got this little cat that I got at Goodwill from Aldi, and I've broken it several times. You can see I paid $1.99 for it. I still haven't peeled the sticker off, but I've glued it together several times, and I just love this little succulent cat. My vintage Tupperware once again. This I was going to put in that space on my gallery wall, but it didn't fit. It's a little too big, so I'm still trying to figure out what to do with it. I've got my kitchen sink here that I never use. If you want more of a tour, I've got other tours listed down below for you, just so you can get a more in-depth tour of everything that I'm not going over today. This little sleeping nook is the coziest little nook that I've ever had. I sleep so well while I'm out on the road, and I really enjoy this space. It should definitely come with a warning label that it may cause unexpected napping. Let me show you the decor on this wall here. I've got my World War I hat, my campaign hat that I brought with me everywhere. I've kind of souped it up a little bit. And then I've got this beautiful little painting that my friend had commissioned after I lost my senior dog in the end of 2020, the very beginning of 2021. And then I have the cliche, find yourself. My mom got me that, so I love carrying it around with me and just waking up to that in the morning. This cool little macrame thing that I found at Goodwill that just kind of fit the whole color vibe in the camper. And I cannot forget about my twinkle lights. I've got other twinkle lights, but right now I still got the Christmas twinkle lights up, and no camper is complete without twinkle lights. To complete that whole vibe, look at that. I really enjoy sleeping here, even when I'm not on the road. I'm at my parents' house now, and I'm sleeping out in the camper, if y'all can believe it. I love being in here. Y'all, how could I forget about these curtains? So I reached out to my friend right before I left. Her name's Lauren Bellflower. She's amazing, but she is the crafty one of the group, and I asked if she could help me sew these curtains. I picked out the fabric from Joann's and kind of just found something that complemented everything else in the camper. And I even sewed little buttons on these little curtain holders that she made for me, and I absolutely just love every little bit about this camper. I can't express that enough. But all the little bright decor that's a little crazy, it just makes me happy. I just want to give a call out to the previous owner of this camper. I have this pillow. It's been with me on every adventure. That was something she left with the camper, and it hits close to home because this was a big dream, and I did dream big, and I did it, and it's been awesome. And she also had this little piece above the bed, and I've left that there just because she was very special, and I didn't realize a year after I bought the camper she had actually passed from cancer. So I just leave this stuff in the camper as an homage to her. I really feel like it's important because it's a part of the camper's history. And I just really enjoy having that type of stuff as a reminder. And, you know, life is precious, and I'm very grateful for this camper to begin with. We also have the fake air plants with the little hangers. If I would have known what I know now, because they scuffed the wall, you know, I would have done something a little bit different. But I do love the look of them, and they're the rose gold, just to kind of complement the pink and the orange and the crazy vibe I got going on in here. With the comforter, I've also got this. I believe it's a Homes and Garden, but I actually found it at the Goodwill for like $10. My friend that made the curtains also made these pillows to complement with some scrap materials. And then I've just got a regular throw that I've had forever. I've got this Pendleton Sherpa blanket, which has come in handy when it's been cold, that's for sure. And then I've got another comforter down here just for the weight when it's cold outside. And then Charlie's little toys. And that's about it in my little comfy nook. But I found this cute little painting at an art show, and I just absolutely love her. So I love Frida. And then before I forget to mention it, I've got my little rug that I got at Ollie's, and it matches. Look at the contrast here. It matches those covers so well. I don't keep this out very much while I'm on the road because it gets so dirty so fast, but I absolutely love it when I have time to like get it out and it's dry outside and I don't have to worry about much. Let's talk about the bathroom. You're looking at it. Rupert's using his right now. That's his bathroom. But I've got the Tortilla composting toilet. It's been an amazing game changer on the road as well. But that is my bathroom. But it's a composting toilet in that little, it doesn't require anything but, you know, some type of litter to go with it. So that is a great addition to this little space. I've also got my cozy little outdoor space here. Sometimes less is more. I just have a little table that I usually throw my little solar lights on, and it's a little wedding table that my mom gave me that just folds out. It's vintage. And then I've got this chair that I've had for about 10 years. kind of wearing out, but it's still pretty and I love the vibe of it with this crazy camper of mine. Could you imagine living in this tiny space for 14 months? What would that be like? Rupert likes it. I know people think I'm crazy for camping with my cat, but he's awesome to have with me. And if you have the right cat litter, it's really not a big deal. But I wanted to take a minute and give you guys just the slow roll of this space so that you could get a better idea of what it's really like to be in here. I'm just curious, if this was your camper, what kind of vibe would you go for? In my opinion, life's too short to stick with the minimalist stuff, so I went completely maximalist and crazy with this. It's so much fun. To give you a brief history, U-Haul actually did make these back in 1984 and 1985. They had their own molds made by their own engineers, and they took the best parts of all the other fiberglass campers and made this. And I am so glad they sold these out in 1992 and I was able to get my hands on one. Welcome to my tiny little vintage camper kitchen here. This is it. Anyway, we will be whipping up some chicken tortilla pizzas, which is my personal camp meal favorite when I'm out on the road. I wanted to talk to you guys about the star of the show, which is the JP50 Pro ICECO refrigerator. This has been a game changer for me while I've been on the road. One of my most asked questions is, what do I do for refrigeration? U-Haul did have an old ice box in here. I just store crap in there right now. Dog treats and everything else. It's dry food. But this is what they used to use for refrigeration. I actually went from a cooler, which you can kind of sort of see the cooler in the car there. I went from a traditional ice cooler to this JP50 Pro right here, which has been awesome. Now this fridge is not your average camping companion. It comes with a 45-degree tilt, anti-vibration function, ensuring that even on bumpy roads that my ingredients stay perfectly chilled. Plus, that multi-directional lid makes it a breeze to grab what we need out without rearranging the whole fridge. You've got your 45-degree anti-vibration tilt going on here, and the fridge still functions perfectly with all of that. Plus, I've got a multi-directional lid, so I can grab out what I need from different sides, which just makes this fridge even better while you're on the road, because you never know which direction you're going to need to grab something out when you're in a small space like your car. So this makes it extremely easy while I travel. With its versatile temperature control, we can adjust it to keep our drinks perfectly cold and our vegetables perfectly crisp as well. And guess what? The JP50 Pro features self-cleaning UV technology, ensuring that my fridge stays fresh without any hassle. This cooler is not only lightweight, but it's also got a wheel design that helps me to be able to move it very easily. And when I'm ready to load it up in the camper for a change of scenery, all I have to do is just grab it and wheel it over to the camper. And if you're on a gravel surface like I am and it's a little hard to wheel right now, you can just pick it up and load it back in your car and hook it back up to your power supply. And here's the cherry on top. ICECO offers a 5-year warranty with a local after-sales service. It's always reassuring to know that support is just a call away no matter where this adventure takes us, because Lord knows we're going half the time. And it's just nice to have a cooler that you can rely on. Now that we've covered some of the wonderful features of this ICECO cooler, let's go ahead and get to making our chicken tortillas. Y'all, I'm so excited to share this camp meal with you. It is one of my favorites. It's very simple. I can make it in this little tiny space that I have. So if I can do it in here, you can do it anywhere pretty much. A quick list of ingredients: tortillas, guacamole, cheese, onion, avocado oil, baby bellas, and chicken thighs and Cavender seasoning. So let's get fired up and let's get started. Spray the pan with a little bit of this is avocado oil. I prefer the chicken thighs because they are a little bit more flavorful, I guess, and they're a little bit more tender. So that's what I typically use. Okay. A good pair of tongs always works well in a small space like this or for any cooking arrangement. Start by spreading them out on the pan. I don't eat that much meat while I'm on the road. I typically have a little chicken here and there, but it's mostly veggie meals that I eat. Sometimes I'll throw a protein in there. It's just the way I've always eaten. I am a little less of a meat eater than your average American. I guess it's called a flexitarian. I don't know. Sprinkle a little bit of seasoning on there. And now we wait. While we're waiting, I know a lot of people freak out because the stove is so close to the cat bed. And trust me, Rupert rules the roost. So before I even put food product down, I cleaned everything. And then I always check here with the stove because I don't want any problems, obviously. But U-Haul thought of everything. Like this is designed to work this way. It works great. I haven't had a problem. I've used it for 14 months straight when I've been cooking and not had any issues with the heat transferring too much to the bunk bed. While the chicken's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and start prepping my onion. And I've already got the sliced mushrooms, so I don't have to worry about slicing those, but I've got to get this onion sliced. And I'm going to tell y'all a secret. I'm not a fan of raw onions at all. I only eat cooked onions. For some reason, raw onions make me queasy. So I do slice these kind of thin, and then I get them like really, really cooked well and really caramelized. That way they don't impact me and it doesn't bother me for some reason. I don't know. I'm weird. Just going to check the chicken temperature real quick and make sure that we are where we need to be. You always want to make sure your food's safe while you're out on the road and cooking in a tiny space. You have to be careful because of contamination and all that other good stuff. So I really am conscious when I'm cooking to make sure that everything is food safe. And that's already at 170, which you want your chicken to be at 165 to be totally cooked. Swap out some onions in here. I'm going to chop up the chicken so that I can put it on the tortillas. And then we'll go from there. Start cooking the onions. And mushrooms. Sprinkle a little bit of Cavenders on the veggies because it never hurt anything. I don't know why I like that seasoning so much. I just do. I put it on everything. So the next step here, we're just going to chop up the chicken. I've let it rest, and you just want little pieces. And if need be, we can throw this back in to warm up. So now that I've got my veggies pretty much charred, which is the way that I like my onions, then I'm just going to add it to the pan right now because the chicken's still hot. And here comes the fun part because the pan's so gross, but I'm due for some new pans anyway. This has been worn out on the road, and I only cook in ceramic or cast iron, so I don't cook in anything else while I travel. I just feel like that's the safest. Y'all, if you're using Teflon pans still, get something else. That stuff is bad for you. Spray a little bit more avocado oil, and now we're gonna work on the top side of these tortilla pizzas. So you're just going to do one tortilla at a time. And I just scooch it around on the bottom of the pan to make sure that it's got a good coating of the avocado oil. And as you can see, it's a little hard to maneuver in here. But then you're just going to add a nice layer of cheese. I don't have a base. I'm sure if you wanted to, you could add like a ranch or something like that to give it a little bit more flavor if this isn't flavorful enough for you. But I just put a really healthy serving of cheese, like a really healthy serving. These toppings here. So we're just going to generously put some of the toppings on here, some of the mushrooms and onions, and spread them out. This will be 2 pizzas for me. So I've got a little bit of leftover ingredients. I'll give you a close-up of this pizza real quick. The one pan meal, I've only dirtied 1 dish, 1 pan, and 2 utensils so far to make this, but this pan will require a good scrub after. But as you can see, the cheese is starting to melt, and then I'll check the bottom after I give it about another minute or 2 and see if it's browning or not. The goal here is to get the bottom pretty dark so it's crispy, kind of like a pizza. When your pan starts sticking ingredients like this, and it's a non-stick pan, it's probably time for a new pan, but it has done me a solid for the last 14 months. Let me show you what we were aiming for on the bottom. So you can kind of see how brown the bottom got. Let's see. It's got a little crunch to it, which is exactly what you want. One other thing I really like to do is get the little packs of guacamole. And these are perfect for one pizza. So I love a little guacamole on there. So I'm weird, y'all, but I throw a little guacamole on top. It just enhances the flavor, kind of gives it a little bit of a Mexican-y vibe. I didn't say it was the prettiest, but dang, these are tasty. So these are my favorite ingredients to put on a tortilla pizza. But obviously you can change out the ingredients. If you're vegan or something like that, you can get your veggie-based meat and all that other stuff. Or if you're on a different type of diet or you have different taste preferences. These tortilla pizzas are bomb when you're out on the road and you're hungry and you're looking for something with a lot of sustenance and something to fill you up and make you feel good. All right, guys, we're gonna dig in and just give this a shot. I know it doesn't look the prettiest, but dang, these are so good. Yeah, so, I mean, pretty neat little pizza. All right, let's try it. That hits just right for me. I hope if you guys try this recipe that you like it just as much as I do. And I'll list all the ingredients for you. As I sit here and indulge on these little savory toppings that I've got, I just want to say, like, the JP50 Pro refrigerator adds that modern convenience to such a vintagey, almost outdated, but fun camper. It's just a really great product. I don't have to worry about food safety. You know, I can always monitor the temperature and, you know, check on it. With an ice cooler, you don't have that convenience. So that JP50 Pro really made a huge difference in food safety and travel and not wrecking your food over spoilage and everything else because you weren't able to keep up with the ice. It was so good too. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to hang out with me today. This has been awesome showing you guys my 3 things that I love the most while I've been traveling, which is my vintage styled camper, my Maximalist crazy style. It's boho, vintage, whatever. Some people think it's cluttered. I love it. I feel like it's comforting and it's just fun. Life is too short for boring beige, y'all. Let's liven it up a little bit. And then I also wanted to show you my chicken tortilla recipe, pizza recipe. And I wanted to show off that JP50 Pro refrigerator to you guys because that is also awesome and been a game changer for me while I've been on the road. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will be creating more content. I'm off the road for a minute, but I'm working on my next dream, which I don't know what that looks like yet. And if you have any questions about the camper that I didn't cover in this video, I have other tours that weren't designated specifically to the decor, but they go in depth about the camper, about U-Haul and how they made these, what I paid for it, the inside of the cabinets. It's got all of that, how I shower, how I do my business, how I, you know, it's got everything. I've got all that. So I'll list the most popular tour for you down below, and I'll also list the most in-depth tour for you. So if you have questions that were left unanswered, then I will cover those for you. And I just hope you enjoyed this crazy time that we spent together while I've been traveling in this tiny little camper. I don't know what that next dream looks like yet. We're working on it, but you know, we'll see what it turns into. This has been really interesting going home, being in a house with privacy, my own toilet, my own shower. You know, I went from being completely feral to back in a community again, which is really strange. And I built my community outdoors when I was camping, you know, across the country. And I've got my outdoor community, and it feels really weird to be back in normal society again. But we'll work through it. We'll make it. And I'll see y'all for the next dream. We are going to do something. I just don't know yet. This is fun. This is fun. I want to say before I leave this week is, y'all, if you have a dream, don't stop. Don't ever stop believing that you can do it. I was talking about this for a year, that I was going to go through Joshua Tree and up the entire coast of the US, the West Coast. And that's exactly what I did. And it was phenomenal. Don't ever stop dreaming. Tell yourself that you can, because then you will. All right, guys, I really hope to see you down the road. If you liked what you saw, please hit the like and subscribe button, and there will be more to come. Y'all take care. Y'all, this is truly the fun part. You are the creator of your reality. So I get to create my next reality. I really, really hope I see y'all down the road.